Welcome to Daily Tax Minute. This is Tony Novak here to share a few points about saving taxes and staying out of tax trouble. Today's topic is tax shelters for W-2 employees, and let's jump right in. So first of all, let me repeat, I've said this before, I used to avoid using the term tax shelters. It had a bad connotation as if it was something shady, and for many years, when you heard the phrase, it often was associated with something that was problematic. But I don't think that's the case anymore, so I'm not afraid to use the term. So tax shelters for W-2 employees are both among the most in-demand type of professional tax services and also the most complex and difficult, nuanced, let's say, is a good word. So I'm going to make 3 points here, I think. So the first is this type of tax planning is the least likely to find on, the joke is for, TikTok tax advice or social media, Facebook tax advice. You're not going to find this type of good tax planning, particularly for higher income individuals, just online. The reason is that the easy tax shelters are available at lower incomes, and they tend to disappear as income goes up. So each tax plan does need to be custom designed. And second is because it is custom designed, I don't want, and a client doesn't want it to be public information. It is nuanced and it is private and custom designed in each case. But let's move on and talk about the two other points, just in concepts. Where do we get these tax shelters for W-2 employees? They come from basically two areas. And the first is through what are called qualified benefits. We take a look at every possible way there is to get money from the employer into your pocket without paying tax on. It is surprisingly large. Got the doggies here, Flossie. There are a surprisingly large number of ways to do that, and it is possible. I work in the small business field, and my first career claim to fame was in custom design of employee benefits for owners of small business enterprises. So that's sort of a niche in itself, but the point is that there are many ways to do it, and that's the obvious first way to look at. However, we're often faced with the situation where we've maxed out on every possible one, and the client says, "What else you got?" So that's where I guess I've turned my attention over the last few decades. The likely most common one that is used is real estate, some type of investment real estate. However, there are so many limitations, so many restrictions in preventing investment real estate and passive loss activity rules and active activity loss that it's just become very difficult for most W-2 employees of high income to generate a legitimate tax shelter. What I do instead is use a active business. You'll notice that high income individuals that do the best on taxes are ones that also have an ownership interest in a small business, or the spouse runs a small business. And we can then, under those circumstances, directly offset the W-2 income with perhaps a loss on a growing small business to create a tax shelter. That is, and I think there's plenty of data on this. Again, a nuanced topic, but there is plenty of data that may well be the most effective tool for a W-2 employee to reduce tax liability. The last thing is it's in the small business field, and that is if we wind up investing in a C corporation. So we start a little kitchen tabletop business, and it grows. We convert it to a corporation, and then we hold it, we grow it, we build it, we invest in it, and then 5 years later, we sell that business. That gain, called qualified small business stock, is entirely tax-free, and that can be a wonderful plan. It is obviously a long-term strategy. You actually have to figure out, who the heck is going to buy this business and how are you going to exit. So it's not easy. And that's why I say these are all custom designed benefits. So if you have some thoughts on tax savings for W-2 employees, if you have some questions, reach me on social media or schedule a one-on-one. As I said, this tends to be one of the most popular in-demand topics for a tax strategist. I'll be back tomorrow with another Tax Minute.